Hey guys, happy Saturday. This just might be the last editorial I do today. I fell asleep and I slept most of the afternoon. I slept for a long time. So anyway, it's almost 4 o'clock here. And I got to get this out. It'll be way past 4 o'clock by the time you get it. But I think I had said earlier, I was trying to remember, and I think I had said 10 officers fired. And I'm going to correct that if I said that it's 10 police officers were disciplined in Utah, and we're going to go over that today. Before we even get to it, though, I have been looking on Google Stories to see what's going on with law enforcement across the nation to give you guys the stories, and it's all coronavirus. And it's like, you know how you throw a rock in a lake and it starts to ripple out? That's what we're seeing here, is that as it starts to ripple out, things aren't calming down. I know the president said, we're going to get back to business and by Easter and everything will be back to normal. It'll be huge. No, I see months before we get back to normal. Months. What I'm reading in these news stories, and I get it, people are saying, well, that's media scare and you're part of the media scare. You're scaring people, part of the media. Stop it, But what I'm seeing, our police departments are getting scared as they see more people testing positive and more deaths are being reported and more law enforcement officers are getting it. Police chiefs, captains, city officials. People are getting scared. Cops are getting scared. And so these law enforcement agencies that said, well, we're really not going to enforce the stay home order. I mean, how do we do that? I'm seeing more and more police departments now enforcing this stay home order. So I think we're going to see more and more cities where cops start pulling people over. I think there's going to be a curfew coming in a lot of cities where they literally pull the car over at like 11 o'clock at night and go, where are you going right now? There's a stay home order. You need to go home. You're in violation of the I think it's coming, guys. I think it's coming. I still see a lot of cars out there. I see people walking down the street, but I think that's coming to an end. In fact, last night here in town, it kind of hit me at about 1 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody on the street. I mean, there were cars out, but there were no homeless sitting, walking. Usually you see at least 1 or 2 homeless people walking up the street. I see nobody last night. And I'm starting to wonder. I think it's coming, guys. We're going to have a curfew in most of the cities in the USA, and it's going to be enforced. People are going to start getting cited. People are going to start going to jail over this. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and give you this editorial. I'm going to let you comment in the comment section below on this, and the link to this story will be in the description box. I'm still not fully awake, so I don't know what I'm saying here, but I'm going to go on and give it to you so you guys can go on with your lives. Thank you to the Salt Lake Tribune. Thank you, Salt Lake Tribune, for this story. Utah's police certifying agency disciplined police officers and talked about the coronavirus at its meeting Thursday. Director Scott Stevenson told the Post council members, that's Peace Officer Standard and Training, Thursday that they are pushing to get recruits trained, working extra hours, and using online courses so new officers can hit the streets. And for those who are just beginning the certification process, Stevenson said they have shifted all of the coursework online. But social distancing means only so many can take the physical tests at the same time. State officials' request to refrain from gathering in large groups didn't stop police regulators from doling out discipline on Thursday. 10 police officers in Utah were punished during the quarterly meeting, which was held via telephone conference rather than in person. Here's who got disciplined. Neil Anderson's certification was revoked after regulators say he lied about consuming a sucker laced with marijuana and stealing a television during the application process with the Utah's Department of Corrections. He had a previous disciplinary history with Post. Department of Corrections officer Jordan Bradford's certification was suspended for 6 months after he provided an inmate with a toothbrush and watched as the inmate sharpened it to make a shank. He threw it in the garbage can and told regulators Thursday gave the inmate the toothbrush to learn how they were manufacturing weapons in prison. He told the council before the discipline was handed down, I made a mistake. I made a boo-boo. Oopsie. Silver Brown, who is currently employed by Brigham Young University's police department, had his certification suspended for 3 to 5 years after regulators say he falsified records by claiming he worked hours that he didn't and then lied about it while employed by the Utah Highway Patrol. On Thursday, he maintained that it was a mix-up and he didn't intend to lie about the hours that he worked. He said, I can't honestly say I mixed up the details. I was trying to pull memories from months earlier, and that's the honest truth. Honest Injun. Former Syracuse police officer Sean Fox was suspended for 2.5 years after reporting to his employer that he had never been disciplined in past jobs when he had received verbal and written warnings in the past. So you can't be a cop for 2.5 years. Oh, shucks. I'll be back. I'm a sly fox. Joseph Hawes, who worked for the Utah County Sheriff's Office, was suspended for 9 months after he said he booked items into evidence when he didn't. When he later found those items, a coin in one case and a woman's necklace in another, in his patrol car, he threw them in the trash. He said Thursday, I feel like I'm a good cop and I love my job. It was a mistake. It was another boo-boo. Oopsie. Roger Hill, formerly with the Toole County Sheriff's Office, was given a 2.5-year suspension after police were called to his home after he had an argument with his wife and they found illegal steroids. He told investigators he had been injecting himself with steroids to prepare for a bodybuilding competition. You know, I arrest people on PCP, so I need my muscle, Russell. Charles Hoffman, who had been employed with the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, had his certification revoked for lying about speaking to officers from another police agency about a case that had been moved from his department to theirs to avoid a conflict of interest. And that one might be a little questionable. His certification was completely revoked because he told officers in another department about a case that had been moved to avoid conflict of interest. But yet, this other guy who lied only got his suspended for 2.5 years. I don't know. This is weird. James Hoftelin with the Utah Constable Services had his license revoked for lying about an incident where he flashed his badge at a passing vehicle and told them to slow down and that he was watching them. He denied ever showing the car his badge, but the people in the other vehicle said he did. So he flashed his badge and said, slow down. When they were speeding, said, well, I guess he lied, but should it have been revoked or suspended in that case? Wasn't he doing his job as an off-duty police officer? I don't know. I'm confused. Kyle Maddox with the Washington County Sheriff's Office had his license suspended for 3 years after lying about eating marijuana edibles and smoking a joint during a New Year's party. He initially said that he put the joint to his lips but didn't inhale. All right, Clinton. But later said that he did inhale the smoke. Now, this one guy flashed a badge off duty and told people, slow down. But said, well, I didn't flash my badge. He got it revoked. This guy ate marijuana edibles and smoked a joint and lied about it and only got a 3-year suspension for his certification. Do you guys see the unfairness here? This is weird. I don't know how they determine who gets suspended and who gets revoked. So Kyle Maddox said Thursday, it was never with the intent to lie. That was the only time I've ever used marijuana. Yeah. And I don't know how to describe smoking or inhaling it. I made a mistake. That was another boo-boo. Oopsie. So he said, it's the only time I ever used smoked. How come every time somebody gets caught smoking marijuana, they go, well, it's my first time I ever did it. I only did it one time. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Benjamin Wolford with the Utah Department of Natural Resources had his license suspended for 1.5 years after falsifying meal allowance forms. So what does that mean? Like he was getting money when he didn't eat or something? I don't know, because I know when I was an Army recruiter, we had $75 meal allowance. And we would take people out to lunch to try to, buy them lunch to try to get them into the Army. And we put it on our little thing, and we would get $75 each month to take people to lunch. I don't know how his meal allowance forms work. Okay, so I went back and counted. There were 10 there. If you go through, I just did 10. Hopefully it doesn't bore you too much. I know I went through it kind of fast, but I know you guys don't want to sit here for 25 minutes listening to me ramble about it. But those were... What's really interesting about this editorial is how do they gauge who gets suspended and who gets revoked? Because I don't know. I seen a couple that maybe shouldn't have been revoked and a couple that maybe should have, but they were only suspended. I don't get it. So if you see somebody flying through town and you're an off-duty cop, you can't flash your badge and go, hey, slow down. Okay, you're going way too fast. You can't do that? I mean, he shouldn't have lied about it, but he got revoked. And then the guy that smoked marijuana, he got suspended. He lied about that. How about the one guy? I only smoked it one time. It was just the one time I did it. I didn't inhale. I retract my statement. I did inhale. What the fuck? Thanks, guys. Community Leo Watch. Watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers. From coast to coast and letting you know what's going on with them. I'm going to try to have more editorials as I go on. I'm trying to avoid the coronavirus thing only because I know you guys don't want to keep hearing about it. But it looks like that's about all we're going to have to report on for the next few days. So keep up. And by the way, when I post other videos that aren't, my normal Community Leo Watch or police auditing or cop watching, my old stuff from years ago, please, I'm begging you, don't unsubscribe, because I lost like 12 or 13 people, according to my subscriber list. During that short few days I was posting other stuff. Don't unsubscribe and go, oh, this guy's done. I'm done. Why do these people unsubscribe just because someone posts a video that they don't like or, I'm only doing it to kind of let you guys know what I did way back when I first started on YouTube. It's kind of like, nostalgic thing, hey, here's what I used to do on YouTube. So I'm not quitting cop watching or First Amendment auditing. It's just with this coronavirus shit, I can't really get out there like I want to. I'm a little nervous about being out there cop watching here in town because I'm kind of afraid that one of these deputies is going to use that stay home order thing. Like, aren't you supposed to be at home right now? It's a misdemeanor. Come here, and so I'm kind of walking on eggshells until this COVID thing passes. So just to keep you guys entertained, I'm giving you old stuff from my YouTube channel from way back. Kind of nostalgia. Here's what I used to do on YouTube. So please don't unsubscribe. Bear with me. If you don't want to watch that video, just move on until you see me post something that you do want to watch. Okay? Plus, you're going to miss stuff if you unsubscribe. You're going to miss stuff. Good stuff. Those of you who stayed and are still subscribed, I love every one of you. You're the best gotten picking subscribers on YouTube. You are. I love every one of you. Thank you for staying because you guys rock. Let me know what you want to. You guys can always suggest stuff too. Let me know what you want to see. Thank you. Talk to you later.